My name is Darnell Tate. I'm here with True Culture Media, and this is Hard Work Sports Performance.
It's True Culture Media. We're here with Team Hard Work. I just want to talk to him real quick. How did you get started with Team Hard Work?
How did I get started? I started training in the basement in Homewood at a drug and rehab facility as a part of a recovery mechanism for people who on drugs and alcohol in Homewood. So I was a part of their program.
Okay.
I started training in their basement, training their clients. My knowledge of training came in. I went to Iowa State for exercise science kinesiology.
Okay.
So I already had a study of the anatomy and the body and how it works.
Right.
I was also an athlete playing football. I played football at a pretty high level.
Okay.
So when my football career ended, I just kind of gravitated into the next best thing, which was, help training and developing other athletes in the training. It didn't start out it started at the Drug and Rehab Center in Homewood.
Yeah.
Then it evolved to what it is that you see now. That's basically how I got started. I got started. My football career, I got injured. My football career came to an end, and trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life and where I wanted to go and what I could do that my heart would be in.
Yeah.
I just kind of gravitated towards training, helping develop other athletes. It was something that I like to do. Working out was something that I like to do. So it really wasn't a conscious choice. It kind of just evolved that way.
Right. Okay. And what principles y'all stand on in here?
So there's a lot of principles.
Give me your top 3 principles.
Honor, courage, probably commitment. I was in the Marines for 8 years, so I adopted those principles, as a part of how they helped groom me and shape me into being a Marine. Those principles became really important to me: honor, courage, commitment, character, integrity, being real, brutally honest. Like, these things are kind of like cultivate the atmosphere.
So, and I see another thing, Seed Time, popping up a lot on your post. So what exactly do Seed Time mean to you?
So seed time is something that I got from growing up in church, honestly. They always talked about seed time and harvest, planting a seed, whether it was a financial seed or the spiritual seed or, whatever seeds that you expected fruit from.
Okay.
So seed time came from planting a seed, knowing when it's time to plant the seed and when it's time to harvest. So seed time in the gym is putting the work in.
Okay.
Right, the harvest is the reward from the work that you put in from training.
All right, Seed Time. So what's your biggest accomplishment with Team Hard Work?
It's my biggest accomplishment with Team Hard Work. I guess it's compartmentalized, because there's accomplishments in growing the facility or building, and then there's accomplishments in developing athletes.
Right.
Then there's accomplishments of self-accomplishments of knowing that I was able to be good at something.
Right.
So for me, that's kind of like a accomplishment in what arena. And developing athletes, I love to see athletes succeed, the ones that I work with.
Right.
I think that's a huge reflection of my commitment, their commitment, and then the formula in which I try to develop athletes.
Okay.
It was a huge accomplishment to go from the basement in Homewood to now, a 10,000 square foot facility.
Right.
So, I guess that's probably not the most direct answer,
Yeah.
because to me, there's accomplishments in different aspects of what I do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't even know if I really want to use the accomplishment, because there's so much more that I haven't gotten done yet. There's so much more territory that I anticipate growing and developing that I don't really know if I'm accomplished just yet.
Okay. So you're speaking about growing. So what's next for Team Hard Work?
What's next for Team Hard Work? I don't know, man. To be honest with you, I never had a blueprint. It's just kind of like evolved.
Right.
It's just like one day went to the next day, went to the next day, went to the next day. I'd be a lying if I sit here and said I sat in the basement and came up with this plan on how it was going, and so I seen myself at each juncture. That wouldn't be honest. It's kind of like more like God's plan for real. I'm just walking in it. I'm just walking in the steps daily. So I probably have to check with the big homie to figure out what the plan is next, because I really don't. I know there is a plan.
Right.
I just don't. I couldn't really say what it is at this point. We growing though.
Okay. So who would you say motivates you the most?
Who motivates me the most? I'm a complex dude, man. Every question there's like, after every question there's like compartments to the question. At least for me it is.
Right.
I mean, because it's like motivate, like how to get up and grind every day. You know what I'm saying? Right. Probably my kids, man. The greatest motivation to me by far are my children. Because by the time I graduated high school, I had 2 kids.
Okay.
And so I was young, and I had no idea, but I know I had no idea what it was to be a father. I was young, having kids. I know I wanted to, but I didn't know how. So my single motivation or factor point or to wake up every day became dedicated to my children, making sure that, and I didn't even know what that was, to be honest with you.
Right.
Like I didn't know what it was. I knew that particular life, in my mind, right, wrong, or different, my life wasn't my life no more. My life belonged to my children. So by far the biggest motivating factor for me to get up every day and to keep pushing, to keep growing, to stay strong, to stay healthy, to stay fit is so that I can provide and protect my children.
Okay. So your kids motivate you the most. But what artists get you pumped the most in the gym? Like, who you listening to?
That's a no-brainer, man. Jay-Z by far is my favorite rap artist. But I think I go to Gucci a lot.
You go to Gucci?
Oh, man. Gucci. I get the Gucci in here, boy. We get active in here with Gucci.
Okay. So what would you say is the #1 pro in this industry?
I think the #1, the most gratifying, positive part about is watching my clients evolve. Whether it's the working class or the high school student, the collegiate student, the professional athlete.
Right.
I think the most gratifying part that I get from it is watching these people evolve. Whether it's the weight loss or whether it's to get stronger, whether it's to quicker, faster. I think that I get a huge level of gratification watching the evolution of my clients, whether it's the working class or the professional athlete.
Right.
I think for me, I know that's absolutely gratifying for me.
Okay. So that's the good part of it. So what's the #1 con you would say in this industry?
Man, in this industry, in the city of Pittsburgh, the greatest con is that we don't support each other the way we should, by far. And I'm talking about just in this industry, trainers and other trainers. Mm-hmm. The support ain't there. It's almost like a 365-day season where you're competing against every other trainer, and it doesn't necessarily be that way.
Right.
But it's been cultivated to where it's almost the support for one another isn't there the way that it should be.
Okay.
And I think it's huge. It's a huge detriment to the brand. And I realize not every city is like that. Pittsburgh is one of those unique cities. It's just hard to get support. It's a lot easier for people to not it's a lot easier for people to not support you than it is for them to support you for whatever that reason is. And I could probably speculate a million times on what that reason might be.
Right.
That doesn't change the fact that for some reason in this industry, trainers are more likely to throw shade on another trainer versus show some type of support.
Okay. All right, so that was True Culture Media. We was here with TeamHardWork. And before we go, we're going to ask you one last question. Who you got winning the Super Bowl this year?
Definitely not the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm a huge Denver Bronco fan, and I'm a huge Tom Brady fan.
Okay.
So, of course, Tom is with the Bucs now, and they just won the Super Bowl last year. I'm going to put my money on the Bucs to run it back again.
Put some money on the Bucs
I think they're going to run it back again. I think it's going to be difficult only because they did it already. They just did it last year. But on paper, they're equipped. They got everything that they need at all positions.
Right.
Very talented. They're seasoned. The only reason why they wouldn't win it is if they do something to stop themselves or some type of crazy injury. But yeah, the Bucs are set to run the table. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DeMar Hamlin and the Buffalo Bills, Patrick Jones, Jalen Twyman and the Minnesota Vikings. Them is my dogs, but I got to go with the Buccaneers.
Okay. So you already shouted your dogs out. Anybody else you need to shout out?
Oh, everybody. Anybody that supports the HardWork Sports and Performance brand, I appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, man. That was smooth.
No doubt.